All right, what's going on, guys? Dan here at Stockability. So I want to make a video in this week's video on the YouTube channel, talk about three swing trades that one I'm currently in and two that I'm potentially going to be in heading forward. So if this is your first time to our YouTube channel, make sure to like, subscribe. Just below this video, there's a little bell there. Click that bell. Every time we upload a video, instead of having to check our YouTube, it actually sends you an email. You can kind of watch the videos, get some insight to the market, and then take the videos and go and do your own research and more in-depth analysis. So that being said, as always, all this is just for educational purposes only. I want to talk about three swing trades that I'm looking at in the current marketplace. So before I get to there, I want to start this video by giving context to what I'm seeing in the overall markets before I dive into individual equities. And again, this is a short video. Actually, let me go to SPY real quickly. A short video, so don't, again, do your own research on this, and it's hard for me to go into full in-depth analysis as to why I like these ideas and how I'm going to structure the ideas. I'm going to give you an invite to our guided trade session at the end of this video. It's free. You can come in and get a feel for some of this and how we operate at Stockability. So one of those ideas is Posh. You just saw me pull it up, but let me talk about the marketplace to kind of give you context before I get to those actual equities. So obviously the entire market's just been on this massive run higher. I mean, it's undebatable. You've got inflation rampant, right? You see it in chlorine. So I'll talk about one of the plays in Leslie's pool. So chlorine prices are up, copper is up. I mean, obviously housing, lumber, right? Who thought lumber would be like an asset? It's a massive inflation, product right now. So all these markets are higher. So right now, in general terms, because the markets haven't pulled back, in my opinion, the way I look at markets, it's hard for me to put on swing trades. I'd say 90% of what I've done the past 60 days have been trades 1 to 5 days. Okay, so again, whether you like that or not, I like making money, so I'll adapt from market. So I don't want to classify myself into a corner and say I'm just a swing trader, I'm just a day trader or short term. I do whatever brings in alpha, brings in money for the markets. So I want to adapt. But right now, there's like three ideas that I'm comfortable with. But the rest of this, because of where the markets are at these highs, I'm just not comfortable with a lot of equities and buying, right? Just because it's a lot of uncertainty with that. Again, the other thing too that bothers me, and I'll talk about it briefly, you have the debt ceiling coming up here in a few months, I think in a month actually. Um, there's a little turbulence there, okay? The potential tax increase for capital gains, there's a lot of things on the table that are kind of leery, which have caused a lot of volatility back and forth. So it's tough to hold swing trades. So I wanted to kind of bring that up before I discuss some of these positions. So one of ththose stocks is Poshmark. So POSH, became familiar with this through a friend. She actually sells like a lot of her old like shoes and bags on this, and she's like, interestingly enough, I could, she'll buy this stuff and she gets, pretty good return. So I started researching this a while ago. These guys IPO'd, and I'll talk about it briefly, at 104, and like a lot of IPOs recently have just been kind of mattered. Okay, so I'm waiting for this to clear 46. So let me just preface that. Um, but I created an account, right? And I went on this thing and I just kind of looked around to see exactly like, what was, being listed on this website. Like, what can you come on here and buy? And I'm just going to kind of show you here, just real quick. I'm going to pull the website over and kind of show you can pretty much resell anything. You can sell backpacks, shoes, I mean, watches, I mean, literally whatever you want. So, and I'm going to give you kind of some context to this. So this is somewhat similar to like eBay or like a Craigslist or OfferUp. And going back to the comment on inflation that I was making, right? If we look at what the Fed did from 2020, so the balance sheet was kind of flattening out. We were about 4 trillion. Now we basically doubled because of Corona, right? So that'll probably go higher. So with inflation increasing in markets, obviously there's wage adjustments, et cetera, but cost of goods goes up. Okay, so we've all heard this concept. I like to talk about it called like side hustles. So obviously, as things go up, I think more and more people in the creator economy are going to start utilizing, I hope, these platforms to make money. Okay, so this isn't like 2005 anymore. You don't just have one job. A lot of people have multiple sources of income. Okay, so I think you're going to see, and I've already seen it firsthand, people using sites like Poshmark to sell their products on. Okay, so especially in this economy where look, cost of goods go up. Well, if you can buy something that was gently used, or maybe somebody bought it, doesn't want to return it, right? It creates a marketplace to go and get these assets or these products rather, without paying inflation costs, right? So I think you're going to see this kind of trend grow, not only in Poshmark but eBay, which I'm going to talk about next. So that's kind of a short thesis. Again, I can't dive into too much. It's just short videos, but that's what I'm looking at. So I like the price chart. Let me talk about this briefly. The price chart, obviously the stock has earnings here pretty quickly, but you've been basing around this 40 level. I mean, so basically since March we've been basing. You've got some potential targets up here at 58. Okay, so again, from the swing trade perspective, I like this. I've yet to enter on this trade, but I like this potentially to trade into 58 and maybe a little bit higher. Now, how I structure this, the options on this aren't great just yet. I hope they start to pick up volume. I'll probably buy shares on this and do something with longer duration options if the options chain opens up. Okay, so this is something I'm looking at as a swing trade. Again, to step back a few steps on this, there's not a lot in this market I'm comfortable with holding. Okay, so this is something I'm comfortable with. It's a stock that IPO'd, hasn't really done much. Okay, so let's go over eBay, kind of the same context here. So eBay, another stock, obviously we all know what this company is. They've been on a massive uptrend. Okay, so kind of same concept. I think they missed the kind of train the past 5-6 years, and this stock could have been worth 150, $200 based on different models. Okay, so I think they missed that. I think they're seeing they missed it. As of 4 months ago, they added, and again, you have to research this, but they added something called, it's like a shoe exchange where you can, kind of like StockX, for those of you familiar with that website, StockX, where you can sell shoes on here. So they'll basically verify shoes. It's a big market. Going back to, again, like side hustles, people are selling shoes, and if you don't know this, and making, tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, there was a shoe just sold, I think it's Sotheby's for like $1.2 million. So again, you're seeing different, and again, you see NFTs, you're seeing a lot of different economies pick up. I think eBay eventually takes off. So I sold a lot of my position this week on this. I'll probably add to this. The good thing about eBay is they have longer duration call options. Okay, so the options market on this versus Posh is a lot more liquid. So I'll probably put on a position with this relatively soon again with leap options and look for a move that might last 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. So that's probably a little bit more of a swing trade, but that's probably what I'm going to do. Again, I'm not going to elect for shares because the overall market just kind of concerns me. Now the final play, and this play isn't really related to online selling, is Leslie's Pool. So not to make a joke of this, but people that have been in our community, in our GTS, have been tracking this stock for a while. I actually listened to the earnings call this week, which is the first earning call I've listened to probably since I was a portfolio manager back in 2014. So I actually listened to the call. Everything was great here. They reduced some of their debt line, adjusted some of their interest rates to LIBOR like plus 1%, right? The interest payment, lack of interest payments going obviously adds to the bottom line. They'd increase margin, increase EBITDA to the company. A lot of new product lines are oversubscribed as far as like the resale programs. And then chlorine, going back to inflation. Chlorine is obviously more expensive. There's a shortage, so they're having to charge more for this. So you're seeing a lot of inflation plays in more ways than just like lumber rising, but you're seeing it kind of expand out. And again, expand out in people selling products more, starting side hustles, starting companies online, and using these platforms to make money. Now, obviously, Leslie's is a full service company, so it's a little bit different. So with this company here, there's positive earnings. Again, it's going to show something here, but they actually crushed earnings if you read through this. The only downside to this stock, and again, please do your research on this, is it's only a $5 billion market cap. So on positive earnings, this is yesterday, it moved 10% lower. Okay, so you've got to be a believer in a long-term hold. So if you're not comfortable, again, this stock doesn't move. It's pretty volatile in some sense. Again, basically from March 1, you went from 20 to 30 in basically 2 months. So this stock will move. It's just kind of a real slow mover. So I actually am in this position right now, unlike Posh and eBay. And this has definitely been a swing trade. So I've been in this since December, and hopefully it trades a little bit higher. So those are 3 ideas. Again, I'm just trying to get the light bulbs kind of going off here to give you guys some insight on potential swing trades I'm looking at in the marketplace and give you context behind that. If you want to learn more, you can head over to our website. You can actually click this here, go to our guided trade session. So our guided trade sessions are pretty interesting. I like them because they're not super long, where again, a lot of trade rooms, it's all day long. And again, you don't get to do your own research. You're just kind of sitting there and sometimes messing around instead of actually, making money in markets. So they're very, very short. And we have different sessions. So you can actually come in, our coaches are able to, you can get a different mix of what you want to look at. So one of them, you have day trading, swing trading, some wealth stuff, and then obviously swing trading. So you get a mix of both, whether you want to swing trade or day trade. We look at equities, forex, equity options, futures trading. You get a whole mix of this, right? So you can kind of see what kind of fits your profile. So again, you can get a free trial to this. If you guys have questions on this, head over to the website. There is a free trial. You just click this here, talk to Rosie, send an email. It's really, really simple, hassle-free to get that going. So again, those are 3 stocks that I'm watching now. Hopefully we'll see some action. Again, I really like this Posh play. I'll be talking about it more in our GTSs and in our coaching communities here probably the next couple of months. So that being said, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that little bell button below so every time we upload that video, we send it to you. Thanks. Have a good weekend. We'll see you guys in the next video.